What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Frank Analysis. I'm your host, Franco. I am joined today by Max Blumenthal, editor of The Gray Zone, author of The Management of Savagery, Goliath, Republican Gomorrah, and The 51 Day War. The Management of Savagery, which I have right here, which Max actually signed right here. January 26, 2020. It's
Oh,
great to
wow.
finally have you on, Max. How's it going?
Pretty good. Where did I sign that?
It was at the anti-war protest. I had my hair up. I looked different back then.
Okay. I kind of have like a vague memory.
Yeah, I
Maybe
interviewed
did you interview me with like a phone or something?
I interviewed Anya. There was a lot of
Oh,
people
okay.
talking to you, so I wasn't able to reach you that day.
Yeah,
But
well,
you
whatever we stopped the war, so whatever it was good.
the Iran it
Yeah,
was
yeah. It
after
was a killing
Trump.
of Soleimani
Hmm.
probably.
Yeah. Well, it's great to finally have you on here. And just to let everybody know, this channel does have a strike, and some of the stuff that we are going to discuss here, since this is a small channel, I'm already demonetized. YouTube has their lasers pointing at me. We're going to have to move part of this interview over to Rockfin. So we'll start out with the YouTube friendly stuff here first. This is usually one of the last questions that I ask people, Max. I do see a lot of people waking up. A lot of people are getting motivated to be informers, and a lot of people are getting influenced to, be pundits or journalists. So, what would be your advice to people? And also, what direction do you think they're heading in based off of all this censorship that's happening? I know that you think that there should be more reporters out there as opposed to more pundits. I would like to do more reporting. I would like to do more interviews on the ground and expose people. I would like to write more articles. But what advice would you give people in independent media? And also, what direction do you think we're all heading in?
Yeah, that's pretty much the advice I'd give. At the Gray Zone, we're always looking for original reporting, and it doesn't matter who it comes from. It doesn't matter what your pedigree is, what your credentials are, whether you went to journalism school. I publish people who speak English as a third language in English, and I can clean up their prose, but I'm looking for good reporting. And I want people to report what they don't want us to know. That's
Mm-hmm.
like what I think our motto at the Gray Zone is we report what they don't want you to know. And on an international level, we aim to break the media blockade. So the media will report only from the point of view of the US backed opposition in a place like Venezuela or Nicaragua or Bolivia or Syria. And we aim to actually physically go there and show the other side, which gets you a lot of insults and attacks,
Yeah.
including from the blue check mark credentialed international correspondents who work for the main papers and wires. They hate us, and that's good. That's what we want to do. So um, I don't know what else to say. There's always uh, demonstrations and real life events that are taking place in your community, and it's so much easier than it ever has been to show what's going on with the advent of Leica lenses on smartphones, easy video editing software, and social media. And I come from an era when I had dial-up internet when I first started
Mm-hmm.
doing journalism, but it was the dawn of online journalism. So with all the tools at everyone's disposal, I think there's nothing to stop you from doing reporting and getting out there. And I see you doing that, Franco. I see, people like Nico. He is a pundit and a kind of YouTube influencer, but he also goes out and does reporting, and he does. I would say he's doing more valuable work than most of the or pretty much the entire progressive media right now, because he's covering protests that the media doesn't want to touch that are affecting working people across New York, the anti-mandate protests. And that's reporting what they don't want you to know about. So I guess that's the best advice I can give. And I guess for me, the most valuable reporting, though everyone's doing video, everyone's on social media, is print journalism. I think it's tough to perfect that, but it is a real skill worth working on, because you can
Yeah.
write from anywhere. You don't necessarily need technology to do it. I've written with just a pen and paper, and old school reporters actually would mail in things they wrote on pen and paper. They would type up. Um, there was a guy, Danny Schechter. Everyone should look him up. He was one of the first alternative radio broadcasters. He broadcast from a station called WBCN in Boston. He helped mobilize the anti-Vietnam War movement in the Boston area, and then he was a big figure in exposing Iran Contra. But when he covered Vietnam, he would be in the field with just a typewriter, including in troop transports, and he helped expose the war without any technology. And that's what you can do as a writer. You can capture any scene. All you need is your eyes. That's how I wrote Goliath, for example, my book on Israel Palestine, that really conveys everything I know about it. I didn't have a notepad with me everywhere. I didn't always have a camera, but I retained very intimate, clear memories of all my experiences, and then I just put them down when I sat down to write my book. So there you have it.
Awesome. Yeah, and pretty much not being afraid to take on the unpopular opinion, not being afraid to be a pariah, because usually that sometimes is where the truth is at. The unpopular stance that's being taken, and we're seeing that with people like you. When you're on the ground, even like all these people coming at you, like, "Hey, what are you talking about? What's his name? That one Adam Schiff, right? When you were trying to expose him, and all these people are like, what are you doing? Like, he's here. Like, you shouldn't be calling him out." Don't be afraid to do that. Don't be afraid to be an outcast when you go out and you challenge these public figures. So, with that being said, guys, we are going to move the rest of this interview over to Rockfin, where we're going to talk about digital IDs, Davos, and other stuff that YouTube doesn't like us talking about. So, we will see you guys over there. All right.